Intro Byeol Project presents Last Idol. Chapter 1. Dark Room. You go down the spiral staircase. You pass through a hallway, full of various doors, but today is a day when you go to the dark room. You close the door, which slams rapidly. The door doesn't have a keyhole, peephole, nor doorbell. What do? You can try to break the door down. The problem is there aren't any tools. There's nothing in the dark room. It's completely empty. Only darkness. You're trapped. Each one of us has such a room. Some tend to be there more often, some more rarely. The former can't be set free, the latter have never been there before. And there are those who don't even believe in its existence. For them, the dark room is a myth reproduced by dramatists. The dark room is mysterious. If you sit down on the concrete floor, you do not feel the coldness. On the contrary, the concrete seems to be pleasant to the touch and extra soft. You prop your back against the wall and close your eyes. For a long time you haven't felt as good as you do now. Suddenly, you see flashing lights, and can now see a painting that hanging on the wall. With every flash, you notice a new element visible on the painting. The moment when you're aware of all elements, you feel so overwhelmed. Why? After all, it's just a painting, not a big deal, not the first and not the last, but still looking at this makes you want to close your eyes immediately. The painting is changing, and every well-known element is going to be unknown. You're still looking at the same painting, but now, it looks completely different. Is it possible to stop it? Who knows how long you've been in the dark room? The concrete floor is still very comfortable, you don't want to get up. You've lost track of which painting you're looking at. Is it the 57th, or 75th? With every flash of light, you turn your head and look at your legs. You don't see them. Have they disappeared? You feel them, don't you? They must be there. Panicked, you are trying to move them. Nothing happens. You try to get up, but you can't find your balance. You sit back down. You see nothing. With your hands you try to find your legs again. You tap the concrete floor wanting a sense of familiar shape. And now you finally get it. The whole surface you're sitting on is too smooth. Through the eyes of your imagination, you guess how you look now. It's like you're half sunk in sea water on a summer night. The problem is that you can easily escape from the water, but from the concrete, definitely not. You are sitting in the dark room with no way out, your legs are stuck in the concrete floor for unknown reasons. You're grounded. You can't move. It's dark and you can't see anything. You keep repeating to yourself that nothing is happening, that the situation is so unlikely that it definitely does not concern you. However, you tap the concrete floor again, confirming that nothing has changed. You are still the protagonist. It's a mental marathon where one thought tries to banish the other, like a runner during a race. But you've watched the Chronicles of Narnia, have you forgotten how stupid it is to lock yourself in a closet? Nothing will ever be normal again. Normality died the moment you stepped over the threshold and allowed the door to close. You ended up like a half-sunken Ben Grimm. What a shame. He lost his freedom, but still possessed a shield. You have only lost your freedom. You lost, so now you have nothing else to lose. You're looking at this strange picture. At least you will spend the last moments of your life admiring something extraordinary. You calmly prop your head against the wall, waiting for the flashing lights to let you see the flickering elements of the painting again. The game has started. One element replaces another. An eye changes color from blue to hazel, and the nose shape from upturned to hawk. This time the picture shows faces. Some are known, some you see for the first time. You waited for life flashbacks, but received something completely different. Were any of these people locked up here, like I am now? However, there is something wrong. Is it a damaged canvas, or just a work of art? The white pixels are flashing faster and faster. Weird. It seems they were not here before. Or maybe they were. Like a glitchy TV screen, it is difficult to identify faces. They can only create the masterpieces of Frankenstein. It is only by posture or clothing that you can tell if it is a woman or a man. Apparently, the picture has an odd sense of humor. The last thing you hear arrives from the picture as it reads, "You do not have a subscription, so we will see you after commercials." How long? You've had enough. You admired the changing picture. It gentled your nerves and distracted you from this situation. You were expecting blissful coziness, but looking at it for a long time starts to make you sick. Too many flashes of light. Too many jumps. The headache is mixed with anger and disappointment. You don't want to look at it anymore. You close your eyes and move into the past. At last. Although these memories are not ones that you would like to come back to. Memories where a bunch of dwarfs hide your belongings and give them back when they are needed no longer. How much else do you have to change to deserve a cookie? But are you sure you really want it? Do you actually have to change too much of yourself? Who do you want to please? The whole world? Unreal. Eventually you come to the conclusion that the cookies can make you gain weight, and the diet will be a better option for you. Nausea comes back, you run out of a breath. What's happening? The dark room gains depth. How can black be so black? You stare at it with all your might trying to find the answer. There is no fear here, only your human curiosity. You are looking for the cause with all of your body. Your hands, which have already become numb by being placed in one position, slowly become flexible. Little ants go from the tips of the fingers to the nape of the neck. You instinctively stretch. You stare at the black. However, the deeper you sink into it, the more clearly you see that it is changing. It becomes crystal clear. It dazzles you like the rays of the morning sunday. Is it white color? You blink your eyes. Something happens. The warmth of the concrete floor radiates to your upper body. As if the concrete was slowly becoming plastic. The fluid texture moves you down. As if you were sinking, drowning, and with each breath your lungs fill with oxygen. You forgot how good it is to breathe deeply. The cozy warmth turns into a familiar cold, and your toes find the ground. Finally, you found the key. The next level is coming. You forget about the shocking loss of sensation in your legs when you realize that you are standing. You see the door. You were on the other side of it a moment ago. Did you escape? It was insane. It is impossible to comprehend it. Any attempt to understand ends with the same result, a headache. The only goal that passes through your mind is getting out completely. Like a lunatic you walk along the hallway, passing a series of doors, on the left and right. They look the same, but you don't want to look inside to see what they are hiding anymore. You go back to the spiral stairs. You go up. Each step is difficult for you. Going down, you did not notice how narrow and steep they are. You get outside, the light blinds you, you can't fully open your eyes. You aren't able to remember what day or month it is. You can't even estimate how long you've been gone. The morning sun seems to creep into your pupils, causing them to suddenly constrict. You squint your eyes, but just enough to see where you are going. On the street you see people rushing with their phones stuck to their ears. You figure it must be a working day. A street full of noises, full of people, speeding cars, but you are watching it all, in slow motion. You see every little detail, every cup of coffee, every bike that passes by. Do you hear your heart thumping? Is it the sound of yours or someone who just passed you? You keep going on. Your face is reflected in the shop window. You look at your visage closely, it doesn't seem to have changed. There is only this expressionless silhouette. You keep looking at yourself. You can see hands, legs, and the shape of the item stuffed in the pocket of your jeans. You put your hand in, and you pull the key out of it. The key falls on the ground. You don't know if it fell by itself or you dropped it. Some guy is stepping on it, someone else has pushed it further. The little girl must have noticed and is trying to pick it up. But no. She was just tying her shoe. You are standing and watching. The stray cat starts sniffing it, you feel anxious, will she steal my key? However no, it looks as if no one has seen it, and apparently children and animals have a sixth sense, they see what adults will not notice. Eventually you walk over and pick up the key from the ground. The key is like any key. Silver, with a hole for hanging a string. It does not look very special, but you know perfectly well what its origin is. Your intuition tells you that it's not the end, this is the beginning. The beginning of something you so frantically wanted to avoid. Something most won't understand. Something you need to deal with. Or again, learn how to live in a new reality.